Talk, the #1 women's wrestling show on the planet.
After that intro, I feel like you have to be dancing. You have to start the show with all of us dancing. It's a must.
Right?
Welcome to Women's Wrestling Talk, the #1 women's wrestling show on the planet. My name is Marti, Belle, one half of the NWA World Women's Tag Team Champions. And here are my two lovely co-hosts.
Hey, Marti, I am so excited to be here with you and Katrina. Everyone might know me. I'm Emily Mayheller, one of the hosts for Women's Wrestling Talk, United Wrestling Network, Mission Pro Wrestling, all over the wrestling industry. Katrina, tell everyone about yourself.
Thank you, Emily. I'm Katrina from In Cat We Trust and also one of the hosts in Women's Wrestling Talk. Can't wait to do the show with you guys.
I'm super excited. This is my first show, and I will say, fitting with today's topic, English is my second language, so if I stumble over everything, just ignore it. Today, I am super excited about this topic. We are talking about the top 10 active female Latin American wrestlers. And I want to make that distinction because we are not just talking about Hispanic, Hispanic women's wrestlers. We're talking specifically about Latin American. A lot of people think that Hispanic or Latino is interchangeable, and it is not. So Hispanic officially relates to language. Hispanic is someone who comes from a Spanish-speaking country, usually relating to Latin American. Latin American is more about geography. Latin American just basically means that you come from a Latin American country where the main language comes from one of the Romance languages, Spanish or Portuguese. And that is why we are going to have some amazing Brazilians on our list, as well as Mexican, Cuban, Puerto Rican, Dominican. We're going to see what we throw out there. I'm super excited about this. If you want to look for this article, you can find it on our website, www.talk.com, and it is written by WWT Ranks Dude. If you have any issues with this article, like I do, make sure you take it up with him. Are you ladies ready? Because I'm super excited.
I'm so ready.
I'm ready.
I'm ready.
And right off the bat, I am going to say that I completely disagree with where this person lands on our top 10 list. We are talking about the Hellcat Melina, also known as Melina Perez. She is a Mexican American, which is why she ends up on our list. And I just got to say, I completely disagree with her being number 10. For me, she is top 3 in this list, 100%. What do you ladies think?
Yeah, I mean, definitely when I saw that she was number 10 on the list, I didn't agree with it. I mean, like we've all seen, she's 20 plus years in the industry. I'm sure you're gonna share some more details about like just her career as a trailblazer in this industry, paving the way for many women currently, wrestling. And so, yeah, I agree. She should be at least top 5. We can battle it out for the top 3 a little bit later, Marti.
Yeah, I'm going to have to piggyback off what you lovely ladies have said. She's just so much wisdom to give over the years. Like 20 years is a long time to be wrestling. And the fact that she was able to come back at Empower and still show everybody that she still got it, she definitely should not be number 10. I find it a bit disrespectful, personally, that she's that low on the list. But again, we didn't write the list. So. But no, we all disagree with her being number 10.
We can argue about where we think she should be later on, but definitely the three of us can agree that she should not be number 10. Let me just quickly try to list some of her accomplishments in her 20-year career. In 2004, she signed with WWE. She managed, that's the thing, she's not just a wrestler, she's also managed champions. She managed Mercury and Nitro, also known as John Morrison, to 3 title reigns as a tag team in WWE and 2 title reigns with Nitro. In her own right, she is a former 3 times women's champion and 2 times Divas champion. let's just start there. She has an open door with WWE, so who knows when we might see her step into WWE ring again. And after she left WWE for the first time, we saw her in WSU, which is where I met her. She wrestled in the UK for Southside. She wrestled in Puerto Rico for WWC, and most recently, we have seen her at NWA, which is where, you know, maybe I had a little bit of a history with her, but we can all agree that she kicked ass at NWA Empower, much like a couple of the ladies or a few of the ladies on this list also kicked ass at Empower. But I've got to say, man, watching her come back and have an amazing, amazing match with Deonna and also crossing over into Impact with Deonna, my hat's off to her because she absolutely killed it.
Yeah, I mean, Marty, you said it, that it is so it's so difficult to come back after, you know, time away from the ring and take up such a high profile match and a high profile opponent. There's a lot of pressure, so you not only have to readjust your mental state and get physically into training shape and ring shape, but she had to, you know, I talked to her a little bit after Empower, and she talked about how much it not only meant to her, and that the fans supported her during that process, and everyone was proud of her, and that she was proud of herself for doing what she did. And I think that shows that, and she's the sweetest person, by the way. And I think it just shows that she that people respect her and look up to her in the industry.
Yep, just picking back off what you both said. Just an amazing woman, an amazing wrestler, and just she's done so much. So definitely shouldn't be 10.
Well, I guess we can all agree that Melina is a complete trailblazer. If she doesn't know how proud we are of all of her, this is the moment for her to realize that, because she really is a complete trailblazer and a complete kick-ass competitor. And I'm just looking forward to seeing what she does next, not just on NWA, but what's next for her career. I feel like there's a lot left in the Hellcat. Let's move on to number 9. We are talking about Cuban-American Diamante. Right now, I think most people would know her from AEW, where she won the tag team tournament with Ivelisse, who also finds herself on our list. Diamante has competed for Shine, ICW in Florida, where she's a 4-time ICW Women's Champion, Hard Knocks Champion, and the ICW Champion as well. She currently holds the Wild Tag Team Championship, and to me, like, she's awesome because she was the first female in LAX, the first female in Latin American Exchange, which in itself is a huge honor, and that's how we were introduced to her at Impact.
Yeah,
I'm actually okay with her on the list. Oh, I'm so sorry, Emily.
Go ahead, Katrina. Go ahead.
I'm okay with the spot she is on the list, and I know she's done a lot. I actually remember her mostly from being the first woman in LAX, so that's where I was introduced to her, and she's like a dynamite in wrestling. And I know that kind of sounds because you know she's in AEW and everything as well, but like she's done such fantastic things already, and I'm just like eager to see what else she does in her career. She's amazing. So, but I am okay with her being number 9 on the list. I still think she has so much she can do and offer to wrestling. So I'm just excited to see what she does next.
Yeah, I mean, I think Katrina, you make some good points. You know, I the last few years I've been more and more like watching what she's been doing, and especially as she debuted on AEW, and we've been kind of seeing what she's been doing there. And I think she's done some incredible matches the last few years and has really like shined. And so I don't know if 9 is right yet. There's some women I want included on the list. So I don't know if I can decide whether she's going up or going down yet.
Diamante, also somebody else that we saw at NWA Empower recently. So I guess basically the point I'm trying to make is if you haven't already watched Empower, you need to. There's so much amazing talent on it. And
if you haven't watched AEW, which you should have, she was in the Casino Royale and battled it out with everyone. So go check her out there too.
Yes, and now let's move on to number 8. Another woman who, once again, I don't know that I would have put her this low on the list, and maybe I'm a little bit biased because I absolutely love Mercedes Martinez, the Latina sensation Mercedes Martinez of Puerto Rican descent. Mercedes, very much like Melina, she made her debut 20 years ago. 20 years, no, 21. My bad, 21 years
2000, yeah,
ago.
right?
Yes,
2000,
in
yeah.
2000, 21 years ago. If I read off to you, I don't think we have time for me to sit here and read off to you all of her accomplishments. I know her. I originally met her at WSU. And to me, so she held the championship in 2009, and she's a 2017 WSU Hall of Famer. But what I remember her for specifically was her 73-minute Iron Woman match with Alexis Lish of Impact Wrestling fame, and that was her second over 70-minute Iron Woman match. She is a tag team champion, 3 times WSU champion. We saw her at Shine. We've seen her at Shimmer. We've seen her in Japan. She's competed in WXW, Femme Fatales in Canada. And most recently, she competed in WWE, where she signed a contract in January of 2020. We saw her debut at the Classic, where she made it to the semifinals. We saw her at the 2020 Royal Rumble. 2021, she debuted for Raw. She's done a bunch at TakeOver. And man, like, I don't know. I still feel like there is so much fight left in Mercedes Martinez.
Yeah, I mean, she is a fighter. I mean, I was so excited when she got signed to NXT. I thought that it was like a great for because of so much experience all over the independent scene and professional wrestling scene. But what I think you're right. I think that she has so much more, whether it's backstage, in ring. Like, I feel like she has so much to give still to the industry. I don't know where she is on this list. It's hard. I feel like she should be higher on this list because she's been around a really long time. She has helped so many women and has accomplished so much. So I feel like she needs to be higher up on this list. This is just not fair.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to agree with regards to her being number 8. I also feel like that's a bit low for somebody who's been wrestling for 21 years. That's a long time. When you think of like 21 years, think like of a child or something, and think like, oh, that's like a whole childhood right there.
I mean, that's
from life to adulthood. That's like a whole life cycle. Like, in regards to hitting adulthood, like she did all of that just in wrestling. So I do believe she needs to be higher up. I was also really excited to have her in NXT, and I do wish WWE would have done a lot more with her because she's a phenomenal wrestler. And I feel a bit they dropped the ball a bit with her. Like they could have gave her so much more of her. But I'm hopeful that, in the next few months to a year that she can sign somewhere else and still showcase how brilliant she is in the ring.
And something to piggyback off what you said, Emily, I think she's got so much more, not just left in the ring as a competitor. I think she would make an excellent coach if that was ever their opportunity down at NXT when she's ready to, stop her in-ring career. I just remember learning so much from her. I remember her literally getting into the ring and helping me and my tag partner, Jamie Jamison, work on a finisher. Like, she didn't have to do that.
Yeah.
And she's just got so much knowledge and she loves to share that with people. So I think it's huge, and I am looking forward, like Kat said, to see where she lands. And I definitely think that a contract is within her sights, whether it be with Impact, whether it be with AEW, or who knows, maybe once things have settled down with the pandemic, maybe we'll see her back in a WWE ring. I really do think the sky is the limit for Mercedes Martinez. Now let's move on to number 7. Christy James. Christy is the first Brazilian to hit this list. She was born in Rio and debuted in 2015. Honestly, I don't know a ton about Christy. I met her very recently, just a few months ago at SWE, and just from talking to her, I know that she spent a lot of time in Mexico. A lot of her background is lucha based. She's worked most recently, she's been working for The Crash in Mexico. She's traveled to Stardom in Japan. She's wrestled in the UK. And once again, somebody else who was on Empower. She became the first ever Brazilian person to wrestle for the NWA when she wrestled for NWA Empower. So very exciting, very exciting. But honestly, I just don't think I would put her this high on the list, or maybe even have her on the list, thinking about some of the other women that were left off.
Yeah, I mean, I know that we did. I believe we did an interview with her a little while ago. I think maybe a few years ago. I don't quote me on that. But I remember talking to her, and she's extremely talented. But I think that there are, like comparing her to Melina and Mercedes Martinez is like a really kind of hard thing to do, and I think we might have to readjust where she is on this list, even though she is really talented, and I've seen her on some AEW dark matches and things like that. So,
yeah, I actually got introduced to her about a year ago. I want to say during quarantine when I was like trying to find things to occupy my time. So wrestling was one of the things I like really pinned in on just to kind of help with like my writing, where my fiction writing wasn't really going anywhere. I'm like, you know what, I need to do something. And so wrestling, like, let's see some matches I've never seen before and stuff like that. So that's how I got introduced to her. I think I love her gear. Every time she comes out, just proud.
Phenomenal.
Like, I absolutely think she's like one of the best parts is the fact that she's always head to toe representing where she's from. I would agree, though, I would not put her over Melina. I will not put her over Mercedes personally. And I don't know about put her on the list either, because there's so many other like fabulous women wrestlers that are Latina. And it's just, I don't know how what the qualifications was for the list of where we were going with this, but I don't like to put her over Melina. It's just like, really?
Yeah,
I'm in no way like disrespectful to her in any manner, because I think she's a great wrestler. But it's just like somebody like Melina or Mercedes, where you have like again such a long career,
you have longevity.
Like, yeah, that it's like, well, okay. I mean, I guess like this is nice, but also like, how did we get here? You know.
Well, and also you have to. Yeah, you also have to think about, like, even if you did like a win-loss record, if you just looked at statistics of the length of career and then your win-loss record, like you're already rearranging the list. So, yeah, I'm with you, Katrina.
And that's not to say that in 5 years, when we do this list again, Christy won't be, maybe even higher. Christy looks like a star. She is fluent in Portuguese, and she's obviously fluent in English. So I definitely think that in a few years, we're going to be talking about Christy still. And I definitely do see her just evolving and spending so much time in Mexico. I think her Spanish is probably great as well. So she's definitely a knockout in that, in all those ways. So I think in a few years, we'll definitely be still talking about Christy. Now, let's move on to number 6, another Brazilian-born professional wrestler, Tay Conte. Personally, I love Tay. I think Tay is phenomenal. I met her when I did the classic, the first classic, and man, I do love her. I think she's great. Also, just based on she debuted in 2016, and her first time ever being professional wrestling was with WWE. So once again, I just would not put her over. I feel like we're going to harp on that a lot. I would not put her over Melina or Mercedes. Tay is a complete badass. She has a black belt in judo and a blue belt in Brazilian jiu-jitsu. She is a legitimate badass. And, for me, once she left WWE and made the jump to AEW, I was so impressed because she doesn't come from wrestling. She didn't have to stick around wrestling. And obviously, all the work she's been doing in AEW, all the matches she's having, because I believe looking at the win-loss records, she might actually be, if not the woman with the most matches at AEW, up there. She's very, very high up on that list. And, it's just been awesome to think that she just got released from WWE in 2020. So in less than a year, she signed to a new company and she's out there kicking ass. I think she's phenomenal, but I would not put her over Melina or Mercedes.
Yeah, no, I mean, she's so incredible. I feel like she's grown so much after being let go and then going to AEW. And I feel like she's been able to utilize her background, like you said, a little bit more. I feel like she's been able to have a little bit more creative freedom in the ring, use her other athletic abilities in a way that I feel like she couldn't do or wasn't as open to before. So I do agree that like she should be on this list, but I don't think she should be above Melina and some of the other ladies that are on here. But I do love her. She's a star. Like I've seen her come out and like crowd loves her. She captures a crowd, definitely.
Complete star. Definitely no questions about that. And also, I forgot to mention this. She made history at the Women's Battle Royal in 2018 as the first ever Brazilian woman to compete the night of WrestleMania. So she's already making history. We'll see what's next. What do you think, Kat?
Yeah, I was a bit impartial to her in WWE because I saw her but not enough of her. Like there wasn't enough. WWE didn't push her, I guess, the way they should have. So I was a little sad when they let her go because I'm always down for women being in WWE and being able to showcase. We need to see more women wrestling in general. So I'm always sad when they let go women wrestlers. However, she's been doing her thing in AEW. Like I see her like every week just rocking whatever it is that she's doing. I believe she's part of the Dark Order currently, right? Yeah. So yeah, she's been doing her thing, and I guess AEW gave her a fresh look to be able to expand what she's been doing. I definitely wouldn't put her over Melina as well. I think this is a bit too high, and this is again not a knock on her. I do feel like I'm wondering what the qualifications was, just because of like how if it's like a top 10, I feel like there should be like a very strict type of top 10 is like the top best, I guess. But this is again nothing against her. I think she's phenomenal, and I can't wait to see what else she does because she's just kind of starting out. It's not like she's been doing this a really long time. Like she has plenty of time to keep changing up a gimmick, or if she wants to do anything new in the ring, she can definitely do that. And I think AEW is allowing her to express herself well there. So I would love to see what she does next, but I definitely will not have her this high on the list.
I think just like Christy, Ty is another woman that in 5 years, when we make another top 10 list, she will definitely still be on it if she continues on the path that she's on right now, because another woman that just completely looks like a star. She steps through that curtain, and from head to toe, her personality, her in-ring, everything, she is a star. And this is just the beginning of her career. So I'm super excited to see what she does over the next few years. Another one who is fluent in English and Portuguese, and a lot of people may not know unless you follow her, keep up with all her stories. She speaks amazing Spanish. Her and Reina, also known as Raquel, who's also on our list. We'll talk about her later on. Quick little story. When I met both of them at the Classic, they were like instant best friends, and they had, I forgot what they used to call it, but they had, how we have Spanglish, where you speak Spanish and English. Well, they had that with Portuguese and Spanish, where they would speak to each other. Ty would speak in Portuguese and Raquel would speak in Spanish, and they would understand each other. It was really awesome to see, and it's really cool to listen to Ty speaking Spanish with a Mexican accent, and it sounds super natural. So super excited about seeing where she's going to be in a couple of years. We're going to take a quick little break as we talk, a little break from our list as we talk about our amazing sponsor. Support for Women's Wrestle Talk is brought to you by Manscaped, who is the best in below-the-waist grooming and hygiene. Ladies, listen up. Manscaped offers precision-engineered tools for you and your man's tools. For any women out there who have come across a hairy bush, you're now in luck. Manscaped, the best in the men's below-the-waist grooming, have just launched their 4th-generation trimmer, the Lawnmower 4.0. Make sure your man joins the 2 million men who have already jumped on using Manscaped. If you're looking to purchase the perfect gift for him that he'll actually use, Manscaped is my go-to. You can say goodbye to hairy and hello to clean. This sleek, well-designed, and optimized trimmer is the best thing on the market for a cleaner shave, as it's waterproof, so you can trim in the shower and spare the mess. And nobody wants to clean up. Listen, I'm never going to get into that. Nobody wants to clean that up. You do not want to talk about cleaning up after that. Here at Women's Wrestle Talk, we have an exclusive offer for you, 20% off and free worldwide shipping with the code WWT at manscaped.com. It's that simple. Head over to WWT Head over to manscaped.com, use the code WBT, and get 20% off plus free worldwide shipping. It honestly could not get better than that. And report back to us. Let us know what's up. Let us know how much you and your man are enjoying using Manscaped. All right, you guys ready to keep
ready.
going? I'm
ready to keep it going.
We're in the top 5 now, ladies.
What? Are you excited for that Manscaped though?
I feel like now we are getting to the meat of it all. We're getting to the juicy.
This is where we're gonna fight it all out. We're gonna fight.
Man, ooh, like I said, and I think another thing we need to talk about is just as it is with us. These are all opinions. We are sharing our opinions, same as the article you can find on there. You know, his opinion was wrong, but you know, it's an opinion, so we will definitely respect that. Coming in at number 5 is the Puerto Rican, La Rosa Negra. I love Rosa. Emily, you have been around her a bunch. When Rosa steps into a room, the energy is just off the charts. I have never met a woman who's got that much energy. And I've talked to Rosa. Rosa has not had the easiest life. Rosa has been through it. And to have that amazing energy, that alone puts her on that list for me. But let's talk about some of the amazing things that she has accomplished. Debuted in 2003 in Puerto Rico for World Wrestling Council, where she is a 3-time women's champion. She's wrestled at Shine. She's wrestled at Stardom, where she was a high-speed champion. And currently, she is our Mission Pro champion. Emily, I know you've got a lot to say about Rosa.
Oh my, okay. I have so much. We don't even have enough time. I love her so much. I want to give her a list of her own. Like, just.
Yes. Top 3 La Rosa Negra moments.
I can't even, like, there's moments I walk into the locker room and she's like, just yelling across the room in such a positive way, just like getting the girls together, and there's a camaraderie, and there's a way that she just like, not only just in the ring, there's fire and there's passion. It's just, she has such passion for the business, and she's been around so long, like you said, has seen so much stuff. She's such an inspiration. You could come up to her, call her at 3 a.m, and she'll be there, right? And I know it's non-wrestling related, but I can't, like, it doesn't even matter her opponent. She'll go at it with like 100 million%. Not saying that these other ladies don't, but like there's a spitfire about her that like you can't replicate. It is one of a kind.
Rosa is a star.
She's a star. Like I want to give her more. I want to give her more belts. If Mission Pro Wrestling had 19 belts, I would.
I would not disagree with that. I would not disagree with that.
I want other promotions to give her tons of belts too. So.
I mean, I know I don't know her personally like the two of you know her, but I would agree with what you said, Emily, as far as her being very fiery. I like fiery women, and it's probably because I'm a bit of a, that myself, that, you just gotta be what it, be how it is. And she's always given that in the ring. And I love to see somebody so passionate about something, especially, like, again, women's wrestling is so important. And even in 2021, people are still trying to let like others know that women wrestling is just as important as men wrestling in the ring. So she's always just so in her element when she's wrestling, and just fiery and just with it. And I love that about her. And she is super energetic. Like, I feel like if I was to meet her, I would be wrapped up in that. Like, you know what? Thank you, sis. And let's bring this together and bring this all in, because I love that kind of energy and that kind of positivity. That's such a mood changer, and I love people like that. So I'm okay. Yeah, with that on the list too. I'm not upset about that.
She's number 5.
5.
Number 5. I mean, I feel like number 5 is a really good spot for her. I feel pretty good about that. So I'm gonna leave her. I'm gonna leave her where she's at. But I think we just need to add some gold. Yes. Add more gold to her.
I definitely think Rosa Negra is somebody who, for some reason, is slept on. And I wish that more promotions would book her. I wish that more promotions would bring her in, not just for what she brings to the ring, but what she brings into a locker room. You want to have positive people. You want to have people with that energy in your locker room. So I am Marti Belle, and I approve of Rosa Negra wrestling in every single promotion in the country and in the world. So
do it, you guys. You're the other.
When you're listening to this, call her right now.
The other half of the NWA Women's Tag Team Champions has told you so you need to do it.
Yes, and trust me, AK would agree 100% as well.
Yes.
So both of us are saying.
Both of you.
I will say that was actually somebody that I was thinking of. I was like, man, I wish that she would have been at Empower. I think she would have shown so freaking hard. But, with this last Empower, we showed that women can knock it out of the park. So hopefully this was not the last. And if I have anything to say about it, she will be at the next Empower. Let's move on to number 4. Now that we've wasted all of our flowers, or now that we've thrown all of our flowers on Rosa Negra, let's move on to number 4, Mexican-American Raquel Gonzalez, who was also known for a minute, I believe, as Reina Gonzalez. She is a second-generation wrestler out of Texas, signed to WWE in 2016. She is the current women's champion. And she was also part of the inaugural tag champions with Dakota Kai when they won women's Dusty Cup. I like her a lot. I don't know that I would have put her number 4 on the list. Just once again, somebody else that I feel like we need a few more years to put her over Melina. I feel like we just keep going back to that, but to put her over Melina and Mercedes, I feel like we need to have a little bit more years on them. If neither one of those women were on the list, then maybe I would put Raquel that high up. She's had some amazing matches at NXT, defending the women's championship. Dakota Kai is one of my favorite wrestlers in the whole wide world, favorite people in the whole world. So watching them team and then watching them feud has been really, really awesome. And another woman that I really like, and I think she's got an interesting look. She's definitely been working on her body. She looks phenomenal. She looks amazing. And above the fact of how she looks, you can see that confidence shining through.
Totally. I mean, Marti, you made some really amazing points, because I remember I saw her get signed to NXT. I followed her path, right? And I remember there was this transition, this kind of like transformation starting about 2 years ago, where she just it was like something clicked where like everyone started talking about her. Everyone was like, who is this person that's like, she wasn't quite getting her matches yet. She was kind of like this partnering with Dakota Kai and kind of like trying to make people like stop and listen and look at her, right? And so then, like you said, she had this whole transformation physically where she like changed everything, and it totally upped her game, and it upped her mental strategy of how she handles matches, and that kind of made her go up on another level. And then she became the women's champ, and it kind of that like took her to the next level. But it took her a long time to really like focus and get there. But I do agree that I think we need to like relook at this top 5, because I feel like she still has a lot to prove, in WWE and like, and she still has a lot more to do. So that might be controversial to say, but.
I'm gonna have to agree with you, ladies. I do think she's a bit too high. And again, not a knock at her, because I think she's a fantastic wrestler. And I was happy when she won the NXT Women's title. I thought she was super dominant. And I was like, I love, again, people that can be dominant and just kind of handle their business in the ring. And she did that. And I was happy she got the title. But I wouldn't say at this like current state in her career that she would be like top 5 of a top 10.
Yeah,
I would even go as far to say that I don't even know if I will put her on the top 10. Maybe top 15. I don't think I will put her in top 10 just because she does still have so much she can do. And I feel like there's so many possibilities left that she hasn't necessarily done all those things just yet to be like in the top 5 of all the Latina wrestlers out there. So like I said, I love her, but I don't think she deserves. This is a little too for me, a little too high.
And I realize I might have sounded really negative earlier, but I do love her. I've watched her journey. I'm proud of what she's been doing, and I'm excited to see what else she can accomplish. That's how I meant it.
I think we understand that, and like we've reiterating, we are not trying to knock anybody.
No.
Obviously, all these women are amazing in their own right, and they have done things. I think that just personal preference. I think Raquel has become, in the best way possible, a monster in NXT, and I just feel like this isn't her final form. I feel like she's still going to keep, her evolution is not over. And
exactly, adapting,
that's what we're excited to see how much she can continue to push herself, the amazing matches she continue to have, and just see what's next for her. I think I might put her on the top 10, but just maybe not as high as she is. Moving on to the third spot, we have Puerto Rican Ivelisse. Ivelisse, man, we've seen her do so much. She wasn't Tough Enough in 2011, and although she didn't win Tough Enough, she was signed to an FCW contract under Sofia Cortez. She, being Puerto Rican, she has wrestled for the World Wrestling Council. She was a part of the TNA Gut Check and Lucha Underground, completely killing it in Lucha Underground. Her, Havoc, and Angelico were the inaugural Lucha Underground Trios champion. At AEW, we saw her at the first Casino Battle Royale. Her and Diamante won the Women's Cup. She is a 3-time Shine champion, including current champion and one-time champion with Mercedes Martinez, tag champion with Mercedes Martinez. She's also currently holding the SWE title. And, Ivelisse is somebody who's completely world traveled. She is very, very tough in and out of the ring. And I don't know that I would have put her this high on the list over Mercedes, one of her tag partners, but I definitely do think that there is a lot that Ivelisse has done to prove why she does belong on the top 10.
Yeah, I mean, I think you're right. Katrina, do you want to go first?
Oh, okay, thanks. Yeah, I think, especially after watching the interview that she was done on Women Wrestling Talk, and just listening to her express, what she's done over the years. And I've known her for some time as far as her as a wrestler, as a viewer. And she's had a fantastic career. And I do like that she goes out of her way to help the other women in the locker room. That was something she expressed a lot in that interview. And I'm all for having people look out for others. And sometimes in situations that might not always have the workers' best interests at heart. So I appreciate people like that and wanting to have people like that in your corner. But I feel like maybe a little further, maybe 6, I will put her on the list. But I think she's had an amazing career, and I hope wherever she ends up next, or wherever she decides to do next, I'm looking forward to it, because she's also somebody very fiery in the ring, and just whatever she's doing with her gimmick, it's always she puts her 100% into it to entertain and to wrestle. So I would probably make her a little lower, but she's definitely the middle of the list. I think she's earned that, if nothing else.
Yeah, I mean, I think, Katrina, you made some good points, and Barney, you made some great points as well. Yeah, I mean, I think that as you can see, she's accomplished a lot. I think she, is she holding 3 belts right now? I think she's holding 3 belts, right?
I can't keep track. I honestly cannot keep track. I believe it might be 3.
3.
The AEW, you're still the tag team tournament winner. So
yeah. So I know the last time I saw her, she had 3. She was fitting 3 belts and lots of gold in her suitcase. But I think it's a heavy bag she has to carry around. I mean, I find that she has been through so much in her life and in the ring, and I know that she's going to continue to work really hard and inspire people to keep doing. Inspire people around, keep doing what she's doing. I don't know. I don't know if I can put a ranking to her, but I know she's really fantastic. I don't know. You guys said everything.
At number 2, we have the Mexican-American Bailey, formerly known as Davina Rose, who made her 2008 debut. I originally knew her from Shimmer in 2011. She wrestled for NWA Championship from Hollywood and Shine before signing with NXT in 2012. She is a former NXT champion, Raw champion, two-time SmackDown Tag Team champion, two-time Women's Tag Team champion, Money in the Bank winner, first Triple Crown, and first Grand Slam winner. Definitely for me, top 3. She's unfortunately right now out with an injury, and if it wasn't for that, I definitely think she would be in the title picture. A lot of people know how hard she worked during the pandemic, which is so sad that she ended up hurting her knee right as live events were about to start, because that
it's
girl
heartbreaking.
busted her ass. Like, she worked so hard during the pandemic, and she's just another one that I think she's just reinvented herself so many times and given us something different so many times, and it's just so entertaining.
I mean, I have loved I loved her on the independent scene. I saw her get into NXT, and everyone loved Bailey, the first the nice Bailey, the first incarnation. And this new one I have loved. I've seen her just completely flip the script, completely turn everything on its head. And it takes a really, really talented person to do that, and to do that successfully, and to have fans buy into it. And it just shows that she understands the psychology of wrestling, and she understands what it takes to not only build a character, but have that translate in the ring. And it's just so imperative when you are a wrestler to know how to do that. So I do agree with you, Marty, that I think she should be in the top 3. She is, going to be probably she's in many people's Mount Rushmores. So she definitely has to be in the top 3.
Yeah, I'm going to agree with you guys. Definitely top 3. Just alone for her NXT matches with Sasha, and how they were the first to main event at NXT, and they were always just such amazing matches. And then during COVID, when everybody wasn't sure what was happening with wrestling in general, and she killed it. Probably one of the best parts of wrestling during COVID was what she was doing in the ring. She took that heel gimmick and just ran free with it. And just if you didn't like her, you're you know what, Bailey, you want a heel that kind of irritates you a bit. And she definitely knew how to do that. I also love to hear over the year, she would put people over. And she will purposely have a match with them to help put them over with the audience, or help them out in some way. And I'm always, again, for woman camaraderie and everybody wanting to help each other, and none of that weird we can't be together in this. It's a crab, is it crabs in a barrel type mentality sometimes people would have. And she was just so not only with herself during all of that, but helping the other women on the roster. And I was highly upset that she got hurt during the live.
I know.
Because I felt like she would have thrived with the live crowd even more. Her gimmick would have just thrived so well with a live crowd. So it's really, really unfortunate. I was hoping that maybe they'll put her on commentary, because I thought she was really good at commentary too. She was really funny. And again, kind of irritated you a bit, but that's what a heel is supposed to do. So you wanted her oh, Bailey, but also you kind of want more of that. I think if they can bring her for commentary for a while until she's healed up to wrestle, that'd be great to kind of just get her back with the live audience. But it's unfortunate, because I was looking forward to her definitely with the live audience, and sadly, the injury.
I know. I mean, you love to hate her, right? This new heel kind of persona. She's you just you're you said, you're kind of annoyed with her and you're frustrated with her, but you just love it, because you're and that's so hard to do, is to have people want to watch you. Some of the greatest heels are ones that you're just absolutely hate, but you can't stop watching. And yeah,
I think it's safe to say that no matter what role she is given or what role she takes, Bailey understands the assignment. and she
Exactly.
is
She's a good student.
in
Good
everything
student.
she does. So super excited to see her come back. I think when she comes back, it's just going to be, the place is going to go insane because we are all rooting for her to get back, literally on her feet. So now moving on to number one, and I want to first of all start off with saying that she cannot fire. She cannot fire you, Emily. She cannot fire me. No matter what is said about her, the Mexican-born amazing superstar. You cannot fire any of us for any of the words that we are about to say. We are protected by the Women's Wrestle Talk code of honor, and you are not allowed to fire us no matter what we say, because I love Thunder Rosa. I completely love Thunder Rosa. I literally was talking to Rosa today. Rosa is freaking killing it, man. It blows my mind to think that Rosa has not been wrestling that long. Thunder Rosa made her debut in 2014. I was just talking about that the other day. Rosa carries herself as a 15-year vet. She is currently killing it on AEW. She has been killing it on there for over a year now. Just officially, very recently, being officially signed to AEW. Before then, she is the firstborn, the first Mexican-born person to ever hold the NWA Women's World. I always mess with this name. NWA World Women's Championship.
Yeah.
In a match that was completely wow. Like, her match with Allison Kay is one of the best matches I saw that year. Forget women's match, one of the best matches I saw. She killed it in Lucha Underground as Cobra Moon. She's wrestled in Stardom. She's wrestled in ROH. She's wrestled in Shine, Impact. And a lot of people may not even realize when she took that fight with Combate, she had literally never had an MMA fight. She went pro on her first match. That is unheard of. And even though she didn't win, she showed so much freaking heart that gotta tip off your hat to Thunder Rosa. I would not put her at number one, but definitely top 5 for sure.
I mean, Marty, I have no words to say about how much I love Thunder Rosa and how much she has helped me and women in the industry and is an inspiration in and outside of the ring. I think her match with Britt Baker, her AEW Lights Out match, was the best match I've seen in like 5 years.
And that was the first time that women main evented AEW. So another feather to add to her cap.
Yeah, so she's like a trailblazer. She's knocking down doors. She's fighting for equality and in the industry, fighting for a safer place to be. And so she's not, so I would say that, yes, I think she's in the top 3. And she has so much, like she's involved in the community programs at AEW. She's, helping her San Antonio, like the communities in San Antonio, and like Marty, Mission Pro Wrestling has like grown, and like women have a platform to showcase their art, and wrestling is an art. And I could talk for another hour, but I will let Katrina talk.
Yeah, I love Thunder Rosa. I think she's amazing. I was so happy that she got to meet event AEW, especially since they're so not as progressive as I would like them to be with women wrestling in general. I hate that sometimes it seems like they're either on YouTube or they're like in the pre-show, and it's like, you got some good solid women on the squad, let them shine the way they should properly. So the fact that she's been able to do that was an amazing feat. And I seen the stuff she's been doing, especially over the past year, just always working to help other people in wrestling and get more people involved in wrestling, and with the school she has, and just there's so much things that she does. So I would put her top 5. I would not put her over. I don't think I will put her 1, but I will put her in the top 5 for everything. Just in the past year, if you think about the fact that she had a solid career, but over the year, what she's been doing all around wrestling related, not just her matches, but what she's doing outside for wrestling, would put her in the top 5 for me off of that alone.
I'm definitely going to say, Thunder Rosa, please don't fire me, because I love Mission Pro. I really do enjoy working at Mission Pro. It is such an amazing locker room. It's such a diverse locker room. That has been so amazing. And it's just been great to see Rosa giving back so much, like you said, Emily, not just to her community, but also in pro wrestling. She's got Jazz's stamp of approval, and I feel like, listen, man, if Jazz co-signs on you, like you are set. So I'm really, really excited to see what Rosa's going to accomplish. It's crazy to think that all of these things that she has done in it's been a year, and we're talking about all these accomplishments in the middle of a pandemic.
Yeah.
Once it is safe to do so, I think the whole world needs to watch out, because Rosa is coming for everything.
Totally. I mean, because she made her debut at AEW in August of 2020, if I'm not mistaken. So it's been a year. And because I believe she officially announced she was signed like around the 1 year anniversary. And so, like, you're right. And that was in a pandemic year. She had incredible matches. She connected to an audience and grew her audience more than I think anyone during that time. And you're right. Like, once things hopefully get settled and we're all healthy and can go travel, there's nothing that's going to stop her. She's going to be taking over every promotion around the world.
Agreed. So now that we've, I don't know that I can actually sit here and try to rearrange this top 10, because there are just so many names that were missed on the list, or maybe not necessarily missed on the list, but there's a few names that I have on my to watch. Maybe it's the Latinas that we need to be watching. For example, we have Roxy and Miranda Alizé. Both of them are competing for the Ring of Honor women's title. They have made it to the finals of the tournament, which will be decided very, very soon. And I'm just super excited to know that there's going to be another Latina holding a major title. Hyan, also, a lot of people may not know, Hyan is part Dominican. I believe she might also be Mexican. I'm not sure, but I know for sure Dominican. She is currently the Heart of Shimmer champion, and she's defending the title in the UK as we speak. She's been all over the US and Japan. I think that those three for me are names to watch.
That's an incredible list, Marty. So, like, I didn't mean to interrupt you, but I didn't know if you saw or heard the news. But an hour ago, or a few hours ago, Ring of Honor did announce that Miranda Alizé and Roxy were signed or signed agreements at Ring of Honor. I'm not sure. So it just broke a little while ago. So I thought I'd share that news. So that means that gives people even more reason to go check out the matches and go watch what they're doing.
Good for them. I am super excited. Another one on that list is Alex Gracia. Alex Gracia is a second generation Mexican-American wrestler out of Texas. You guys might know her from seeing her admission, where she beat me, but we won't talk about that. Ring of Honor. I just love these companies giving just having a diverse locker room. It makes me so, so happy, man. Growing up, there weren't a lot of women who looked like me on television. There weren't a lot of women who spoke Spanish on television. And it's just been so exciting seeing how everything is growing, and all of these women that are active at the moment. And the sky is the limit for all these Latina wrestlers in wrestling and outside of wrestling as well.
Yes.
Woo-hoo. Yeah, I would definitely add Alex Garcia too, because I actually really, really like her. I think she's a fantastic wrestler. So she's definitely somebody I would have probably put on this list in some capacity.
Yeah, she's got this spunk, man. She's got this great personality, and she's just so lovable. She's just so, so lovable, and I'm really excited to see. Once again, like, when we do this list in 5 years, I definitely think that she's still going to be on it.
Yeah.
Now, I don't know if you guys have anybody else that you guys wanted to add before I throw my last 2 cents in. Is there anybody else that you guys feel like may have been missed from the list?
I mean, Marty, I think it's an obvious one, right? I think we're missing someone on this list. And, wait, I think... Do you want to say it, or should I?
Sorry, yes. I was just distracted by the shiny belt that's hanging out behind me. Sorry. Were you saying something? Because I missed it. Sorry.
So, I think, Marty Belle, I think you're missing from this list.
You know, I'm so glad you said it, because I didn't want to say it. It's interesting because I feel like I've been overlooked for most of my career, for various reasons or whatever. But If we're talking just about accolades, I am not going to put myself in the top 3, but I definitely would put myself in the top 10. Should I talk about my I feel like this feels
yes.
so
Wait.
censored.
No, talk about your accomplishments, and I want to see the gold. Bring the gold a little bit closer.
Well, actually,
I want to see the gold. Bring the gold and talk about your accolades, because I've watched you grow so much the last few years.
And hold on to this title.
Yes, I've seen you grow at NWA. I've seen you grow, and so talk about what you have done, Marti.
I am a former 2-time Shine Tag Team Champion. I am a former 2-time WSU Tag Team Champion. I was the longest reigning at 602 days Spirit Champion at WSU. I held the NYWC Championship 3 times, I believe. I lost count. I'm just kidding. It was very confusing. The last one, I was a co-champion, so it was very confusing. I wrestled for Impact Wrestling. My first television contract was with Impact Wrestling, being the first Dominican to sign a contract with Impact Wrestling. I was a part of the first ever Mae Young Classic. I've been a part of the Shimmer locker room for about 7 or 8 years. And I joined the NWA a little bit over a year ago. I was a part of the first season of Empower. Myself and Allison Kay took a little hiatus during the pandemic, but we came back with a bang. We came back with a bang, becoming the first NWA Women's Tag Team Champions of our generation. This title was vacant since 1987. So since 1987, nobody has held on to this title. And this championship win meant absolutely everything to me. It is the first, I've been wrestling for 12 years, almost 13. This is the first major title I have held. This is the first world championship I have ever held. And it's even more special to me because I've said this a million times and I'm going to continue saying it. The Dominican Republic and the NWA have had a very complicated relationship. In 1982, we are recording this on September 7th. On September 7th, 1982, Jack Veneno, el campeón de la bolita del mundo, literally he was known to us as the champion of the whole wide world, beat Ric Flair for the 10 pounds of gold in Santo Domingo, Dominican Republic. And it was never acknowledged by the NWA. If you read Ric Flair's book, he talks about it. If you read Roddy Piper's book, he talks about it. It has never been acknowledged by the NWA. Becoming an NWA champion means more, not just to me, it means so much to my country because I am the first Dominican champion that's being recognized by the NWA. And if that doesn't put me on this list, I don't know what will.
Oh my gosh. Marti, you need more. Look at that gold. Look at that gold right there. That's what it's all about. Look at that.
To see, but she is gorgeous.
That is gorgeous. I know I got to see it up close. It's beautiful. You know, Marti, you deserve to be on this list. You're incredible. So, yeah, I don't know. I guess everyone else needs to let us know what they think about this list. If we're missing anyone, but don't get mad at us. It's all opinion.
Once again, it is all opinion based. Before we go, there is one other person that I did want to add to this list. Vicki Guerrero. Vicki is still active. I feel like a lot of times we don't think of Vicki as a wrestler, and for most of her career, you know, Vicki's had a match or two that makes her a wrestler. Vicki Guerrero has been a complete trailblazer in the industry. She is still involved in professional wrestling. And Kat, just like you said before, this is a woman who is uplifting other women. She loves to find women that maybe aren't being talked about enough and talk to them, hear their story, hear what they're doing. And I love the work that she's been doing in AEW, and always, 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 Vicki will hold a very, very special place in my heart. I've never met her in person, and that's someone that I really look forward to. So she maybe not on our top 10, but I definitely would add Vicki, you know, as just one of the greats that have been and that are still currently active in professional wrestling.
Yeah, I think that's a really great addition, Marti, because she's also integral in AEW and helping kind of shape the stories and action that's happening over there. And she still is like so good and captivates everyone and causes trouble and, you know, does all the great things.
Yes. We're big fans of her over here.
Yeah.
Yes, definitely.
Well, that wraps up Women's Wrestle Talk, the top 10 female Latina active wrestlers. Emily, where can we find you? Where can we find more information?
Yeah, you can follow me on all social platforms at Emily Mayheller, and check out Mission Pro Wrestling channels as well, because we always have some awesome shows coming up.
Kat?
You can find me on Instagram and Twitter, and in Cat We Trust, E is a 3. I also do have a YouTube channel, so if you like wrestling stuff, but also nerdy stuff, because I'm a big old nerd, then you can find stuff there as well. And if you're interested in any of the articles I write, I do write for several different sites. So Sports Obsessive, Shooting the Sports-ish, and if you like horror-ish things, I'm your girl.
And I am Marti Belle. You can find me on Instagram, which is where I'm the most active, at marti.belle. On Twitter, I'm not active at all, but if you want to follow me, go ahead. It's Marti Belle. You can find us at Women's Wrestle Talk on all social media platforms at www.talkpod, Talk Pod. Our website is www.talkpod.com. You can find this article along with other articles and the backlog of some amazing, amazing interviews, including a lot of the women that we have on this list. Thank you guys so much for watching Women's Wrestle Talk, the #1 women's wrestling show on the planet. We'll see you guys very soon. Hasta luego.
Bye, guys.
Women's Wrestling Talk, the #1 women's wrestling show on the planet.